Good morning, dear children. In this video, we will continue chapter number 4 of chemistry. The name of the chapter is Structure of the Atom. Let us learn about distribution of electrons in different shells. You know that an atom has got nucleus in the center, and around the nucleus, electrons revolve in fixed orbits. Now let us understand how these electrons are distributed in these shells. We have K shell, L shell, M, N, and so on. Let us learn how many electrons will be there in all these shells. This distribution of electrons in the different shells was suggested by Bohr and Bury, and there are certain rules for filling the electrons in different shells. So let us do these rules one by one. First rule: the maximum number of electrons in a shell is given by the formula 2n square, where n is the number of shell. N is 1 if we are talking about K shell, n is 2 if we are talking about L shell, and so on. So from this rule, we can write that first shell or K shell will have 2 into 1 square, that is 2 electrons. So at the maximum, 2 electrons can be accommodated in first shell. Similarly, in second shell, there can be 2 into 2 square, that is 8 electrons. They can be accommodated. Third shell or M shell, it can have maximum 2 into 3 square, it is 18 electrons. Similarly, N shell, that is fourth shell, can have 2 into 4 square, 32 electrons to the maximum extent. So in this way, by this formula 2n square, we can calculate, we can get an idea about the number of electrons present in a particular shell. Second rule: the maximum number of electrons that can be filled in the outermost shell is 8. Third rule: electrons cannot be filled in a shell unless the inner shells are filled. Now, what is the meaning of this third rule? This rule says that electrons will go to second shell after filling first shell completely. Similarly, electrons will go and enter fourth shell after getting entered in third shell completely. It means, first of all, third shell will accommodate the maximum number of electrons, then the rest of the electrons, they will go to the fourth shell or the next shell. Now we can see atomic structure of first 18 elements. So as you can see, let us understand a few of them. This is atomic structure of hydrogen. Hydrogen has nucleus and it has got one electron which is revolving around a nucleus. So we have one dot in this outer circle and this inner circle that represents nucleus. Now let us talk about nitrogen. Nitrogen has nucleus where protons and neutrons are present, and there are 7 electrons which are moving in the shell. So out of these 7 electrons, first 2 electrons, they will go to first shell, that is K shell, and the pending 5 electrons, they will enter the next shell. It is second shell or L shell. Similarly, we can talk about aluminium. Aluminium has total 13 electrons. So out of these 13 electrons, we will have 2 electrons in first shell, then we will have 8 electrons in the second shell, and the remaining electrons, that is 3 electrons, they will enter the third shell. So it will have electronic configuration 283, and of course in the center there is a big dot. That big dot represents the nucleus where nucleons are present. Now what are these nucleons? If you remember, Nucleons means the particles which are present within the nucleus. So we have protons and neutrons. These are known as nucleons. Now our next topic is valency. What is valency? It is the combining capacity of an element. Also, the number of electrons present in the outermost shell of an atom, they are known as valence electrons. So valency depends upon valence electrons. If the atom's outermost shell is completely filled, then the atoms are inert and they are least reactive. Their combining capacity will be zero. It means valency will be zero because the outermost shell is completely filled. So there is no need of any chemical reaction further. So that is why these atoms, they are inert or they are least reactive and the combining capacity or valency is zero. For example, we have inert element helium. It has two electrons in the outermost shell, therefore it is stable. Whereas the other inert elements like neon and argon, they have got eight electrons in their outermost shells. And this we have octet configuration also, another term, new term is there. So what is this octet configuration? The atoms having 8 electrons in their outermost shell, these are said to have octet configuration and these atoms are stable. But what happens if there is no octet configuration? It means outermost shell is not completely filled. Then what happens? Then in that case, atom is not stable and it will try to attain stability either by losing electrons or gaining electrons or by sharing electrons with other atoms. So this is the basic cause of all chemical reactions. Atoms, they want to attain stable configuration and they can get this stable configuration either by losing electrons or by gaining electrons or by sharing electrons. So the number of electrons lost or gained or shared by an atom to attain electronic configuration, that is known as the combining capacity or that is also known as valency of the element. Now we have examples of valency. We have hydrogen, lithium, sodium, etc. They can lose one electron, so their valency is 1. Magnesium can lose 2 electrons easily in order to become stable. Therefore, the valency is 2. And as we have done just now, that aluminium has electronic configuration 283. So it can easily lose 3 electrons and it can gain stable electronic configuration. So that's why valency of aluminium is 3. Carbon has 4 electrons in the outermost shell. The total number of electrons in carbon is 6. So configuration will be 2, 4. Since it has 4 electrons in the outermost shell, so its valency is 4 because it forms bond by sharing electrons. It does not lose electron, it doesn't gain electron. Carbon only shares 4 electrons, so its valency is 4. Now let us talk about fluorine and oxygen, etc. Fluorine, it can easily gain one electron and that's how it becomes stable. Therefore, its valency is 1. Oxygen, its configuration is 2, 6. K shell 2 electrons, L shell 6 electrons. So it can easily gain 2 electrons and hence it can become stable. Therefore its valency is 2. In the same way, nitrogen can easily gain 3 electrons. So therefore its valency is 3. Now, let us talk about composition of atoms of the first 18 elements. Now, this table is given in your NCERT book and this is very, very important. What you have to learn from this table? You have to learn the symbol of the element, like hydrogen has symbol H. Then you are to learn the number of protons present in it, because the number of protons present in an atom, that is equal to atomic number. So Like if helium has 2 protons, then its atomic number is 2. If carbon, it has 6 protons, then its atomic number is 6. So from the number of protons, we can talk about atomic number. Then how many neutrons are there in a particular element? That list is there with us. And then we have the number of electrons. Now number of electrons is always equal to the number of protons. That we have done earlier too, because an atom is electrically neutral. It means it has equal number of protons and electrons. If you know the number of electrons, then you can write the electronic configuration, or you can write about distribution of electrons. For example, let us talk about magnesium. Now pay attention on magnesium. It has how many electrons? There are 12 electrons present in one atom of magnesium. So these 12 electrons, how they are distributed? By the three rules that we have just done, this there are three shells. We have 2, 8, 2. These three, this is how the electrons are distributed in case of magnesium. K shell can have 2 electrons, L shell will have 8 electrons, and the outermost shell will have 2 electrons. Similarly, we can talk about the electronic configuration of the other elements like sulfur, chlorine, phosphorus, etc. And from here, we can know about valency also. If you know the electronic configuration, if you know the distribution of electrons, then we can talk about valency too. For example, uh, for this you have to remember certain rules. If the number of valence electrons are 1, 2 or 3, then valency is also same. It is 1, 2 or 3. If the number of electrons are 4, 5, 6, 7, then valency will be 8 minus number of valence electrons. For example, if there are 6 valence electrons present here, then valency will be 8 minus 6 is equal to 2. So valency will be 2. So as you can see, that's what is written in front of oxygen. Oxygen, its valency is 2. And if it has octet configuration, then valency will be 0. Now what is the meaning of octet configuration? Remember, octet configuration means the outermost shell is having 8 electrons, it is stable, it is inert, it will not react with any other element. For example, we have helium, we have neon, we have argon. They do not react with the other elements because their valency is 0. So other topics we will be taking in the next video.